Hi, and welcome back to Highlander Heart. And who had Dave Bautista on the bingo card? Anyone? Anyone? No. No. Even
Well,
though he's been there since the beginning.
yeah, it's been rumored since the beginning.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. Welcome back. And welcome back to you guys as well, Amy and Joe. Exciting times. We've had Connor about 12 years ago. We had Ramirez relatively recently, as Russell Crowe. Now we finally found out who the Kurgan is. It's
Exciting
Drax
times.
the Destroyer.
I have famously huge turds.
Yes.
Yeah, Dave Bautista. Like we said, he's been rumored forever. Um, I, and I think he really wanted the role, and I wonder if that had something to do with it. Amy, what were your thoughts when you heard the news?
I think it was one of those things where it's like, you know that he's been rumored, so you've kind of just tucked it to the back of your head, and
Yeah,
then it actually has happened. And to be fair, like I do think he would do a very good job at it. He's got that appeal of like being scary and being able to kind of like dominate a room a little bit.
yeah.
Um, I've only ever seen him in comedic roles. I've only ever seen him in Guardians. So for me, it's like, can he pull off the serious role? Um, I hear that he can, so we will see.
Absolutely, Joe. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess he's been rumored so long. I mean, almost since I think at least as long as Chad's been attached to this. I think it was Dave Bautista is going to play the Kurgan, and to your point, I wonder if some of that was him lobbying for it. Um, And because I think even in interviews over the years, he's been like, "Oh yeah, there's not been any talks, but yeah, that'd be something I'd be very happy to do." And I think he has said he's a Highlander fan, so I wonder if that was part of it. But it just seems like he's been so dominant in the rumors that it was like when he was announced, it was kind of like, well, yeah, I mean, so definitely the obvious choice. Um, no Rupert Grint, but hey, I can move past that now. Um, However, my first thought was yes, obvious, but I think he will do really well with it. And to kind of answer Amy, I have seen him in some things, Blade Runner 2049, which he kind of, in my opinion, even though he was in a short role at the beginning, kind of stole that movie and set the tone for that movie. Was a Knock at the Cabin. He was fantastic in that.
Yeah.
Dune. I mean, Dune was kind of more like I kind of look at Dune as that was his almost audition for a Kurgan, because the way he played that character was like, yeah, that's kind of Kurganish.
Yeah,
But I think it's important for people to understand. It's like, I mean, watch the first movie. The Kurgan wasn't all about um, bombast and just being horrible and stuff, because a lot of that was his act to intimidate. And he did have layers beneath that Clancy Brown did a fantastic job with. So you need that person that can do layers and have that kind of at times quiet menace. And I think Batista is really good at that. So I'm excited for that. I'm a little disappointed that it's the obvious choice.
yeah. I think I agree with you, Joe. I think if we get Blade Runner Bautista, then I'm good. And I think one of the best thing about him being cast is that we know that he wanted Dom. And I think it would have been really sad to have seen just bring in somebody who fits the type, who would just knock it out and just go on to the next project. Um, I think we've got somebody who actually really will give it their all and has probably thought about playing this role for well over a decade at this point. So I think that's probably his greatest strength in terms of him playing the Kurgan right now. So yeah, I think it's not I don't think it's necessarily well, none of us chose him when we were doing our picks, and some of us have done those sort of reboot picks quite a few times over the years on here, and he never came up. Partly because he was there from the beginning and sort of seemed to sort of have come and then gone. But yeah, I don't know. It's what we've got, so we can only hope for the best. Next cast, who actually came before him, but we thought we'll just wait until we got together to chat again before we talked about her. Marissa Abella. Talking about her casting in particular, of course, I've seen it a few times. The memes and things coming up of, here's the original cast, here's the new cast, and people keep putting her in as Brenda, and she's not, because they've said that she's playing an old love interest of Connor's. When they old, we mean old, So she's also an immortal. So that puts her firmly in one of our wildcard entries because we didn't have her. She's a new character.
Yeah.
So she gets a whole new slot, which is kind of. Now, I haven't seen the Amy Winehouse movie. I don't know if either of you have. I hear she's good in it, and that's really exciting. And she's got, she's one of the people that's up and coming. We were just in Malaysia for a couple of weeks, and when we were in Kuala Lumpur, we were driving in a taxi to this big mall because we had to go to the mall because I've got a 12-year-old, and there's this giant billboard, and I forget the name of the watch, but they're selling particular watches, and she's on a billboard with these sort of, with an actress, or there's rotating ones, and they're always in pairs, but she kept popping up, Marisa Abella. So it was amazing to get there, and I think it's obviously someone who's on the rise. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to see a new character. I'm interested to see what they'll do with that, and how it'll fit into the dynamic. We're expecting a Heather, and we're also expecting a Brenda. Memaybe we won't get a Brenda. I don't know, but if she's an old love interest, then there's, we know Connor's, if Connor's anything like Duncan, he's a bit of a, philanderer or whatever, I don't know.
As long as I remember knowing you, you've had all the fun and most of the good women.
But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, Joe, what did you think when you heard the news?
I like her. She was really great in the Amy Winehouse biopic. She was I also happened to see her in a TV series, a British one, I believe, Cobra, that Robert Carlyle stars in. And she plays his character's daughter in the first season. She was recast didn't appear in the second season, recast in the third season, but I believe that was because of scheduling conflict. She was doing the Amy Winehouse movie and also shooting some stuff for Barbie, which she was also in. So I like her. I think she's going to do really well. I'm really cool. It would be really cool to see what she brings to an immortal character as well. And I'm certainly not against, actually, for any of these roles, quote unquote unknowns or up and coming actors. I think I almost think that's maybe how they should have done some of the big main characters, but they obviously didn't. But yeah, no, I think it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, cool. Amy?
I've not seen her in anything myself. I've heard that she's in a TV show called Industry, isn't she? And somebody at work
Right,
told me
that's
that
right.
was
She's
really
also in
good.
Industry. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that's really good. So we're considering potentially watching that, depending on what we think of the trailer. My biggest concern is the age difference. Henry Cavill's obviously in his 40s. She's not even in her 30s yet. I think it's about 13 years. It's not huge, but it's still like when you compare it to the original film, I think actually Brando was older than Chris.
Right.
So it would have been nice to have maybe had an older female love interest. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
It is what it
Yeah,
is.
no, yeah, and yeah, I totally get it. You can always make the argument of, well, yes, but they're hundreds of years old. It's
Yeah.
just so they're like, no, you're right. I think in an ideal world, yes, there should be somebody that's a little more right in terms of age bracket for Henry, but. Again, we don't know who will be playing. If there is a Brenda who will be playing her, maybe it will be somebody sort of more
That's well,
Yeah.
that's the thing because she's playing the old, an old love interest, right? So I could see Chad. I could see them being cheeky, even though they were mortals. Her being like, "Oh, I'm only why did it not work out with you?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm only like 150. He's way older than me," or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's really cool. So, okay, so we've still got some to figure out. Let's look at where we're at then. So we've got Connor, we've got Ramirez, Russell Crowe. We've now got Kurgan, Dave Bautista, and we have a new wild card by Marissa Abella, currently unnamed Immortal. So yeah, so that's all we've got so far. We got the two guys. We're still waiting on a few more. But yeah, exciting things to come. Now, I don't know if anybody else is as paranoid as I am about this, but paranoid isn't the right word. I'm just geeky about it, I suppose is the right word. So I was watching one of Adrian Paul's posts recently. He was in Budapest with his family. He was on mission and talking about, I think it was his daughter loves this cookie store, right? And he just sort of just blasé mentions, well, I can't have cookies at the minute, but never mind. That's not the thing. I'm like, why, Adrian? Why can't you eat cookies? Is it because you're going to be in the reboot, Adrian? Is that why you can't eat cookies?
I'm standing outside a place right now called Cookie Beacon, which has some amazing cookies that my daughter's been dying to try. I can at the moment, but anyway. I can at the moment, but anyway.
I don't know. I think if I were Chad and I had Adrian, who is an amazing swordsman, and the ability to stick a cameo in there because everybody does that in the reboot, but and also really use him. I'd do that.
Could be Daddy McLeod.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, you could have him be Connor's father
Yeah.
in the past, and you could still name him Duncan. He could still play Duncan McLeod.
Oh my
That would be cool.
That would be very cool. That would be very cool.
I mean, it wouldn't show off his sword. Well, no, they could still have him,
Yeah, because he'd be
fighting
like
in
the
some.
chieftain, wouldn't he, of the village?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anything, you'd want to eat more cookies for that. I kind of feel you'd want more girth, gravitas.
Oh, he's a hands-on chieftain. He's leading the battles and all that kind of stuff, and so he could still show off sword skills and still play Duncan MacLeod, but he could be Connor's dad.
Yeah, I like that. That's a really cool idea. And who else do you think might turn up? I mean, I'm thinking maybe again Clancy was in John Wick, so he's got to be a shoo-in, right, to be in the movie too.
I think so.
Yeah. Maybe
you could reverse the roles, and you could have him be the priest in the church that the Kurgan goes in and is rowdy in.
That would be funny.
Then you write in a little line where the priest like talks back to him, and he's like, "Oh, you've got some guts. I like you. You remind me of me."
You remind me of me when I was young.
Yeah.
In another lifetime.
Yeah. I love it.
Could have been me in another world. I don't know. It just writes itself. So yeah.
Yeah, it does. No, that's really cool. I like that. And I think there's plenty of options. I mean, maybe even Hugh Corshi.
Yeah.
They're shooting in London, I think. So, there's a good chance that they can just, okay, why not?
I don't think you could have. I don't think you could have Kristoff cameo in it. So I think that would pull. I don't know. To me, it would pull me out of it too much, especially because if you're going to have him cameo, it's got to be some kind of. Unless you have him be the hot dog vendor, that would be kind of funny. But and you could like put him in like long hair and glasses and stuff like that, and he could be totally different and be like, and have the same lines as the hot dog vendor in the first movie.
Tint mean, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I just don't think you could do that because it would.
No.
It would pull me out of it completely.
Be almost comical in a way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, you're right. But no, it's exciting though. It's exciting to see who might turn up. But yeah, well, that's where we're at then, guys. I guess we'll wait and see, and we'll be back again soon to talk about the next one. Hopefully Heather, then maybe Castigier, then maybe Brenda. Maybe we'll even get some more wild cards. And it starts filming in a couple of weeks. So
yeah, there should be a lot coming out here pretty quickly.
There should be, yeah. So we'll probably be back sooner than later, hopefully. Yeah.
Is it normal for like things like this to be so kind of close to when filming happens, or is this kind of like unusual?
I think sometimes you'll probably actually even notice that they will announce cast after filming sometimes, if it's relatively sort of secretive and things like that. And in any case also, because as we know with Marissa, they've not announced the character's name. And I think when we start to get some of the other roles, they may not even announce who they're playing in terms of description of who they're playing. So we might just get a barrage of names, and we'll be sitting here going, well, I think they could be that, I think they could be that, which is part of the fun. But sometimes they'll just go ahead and shoot stuff. They'll shoot the movie, and then the names will start to come out for whatever reason that they decide to release it when they do. I think we've just been quite lucky in some ways that, for instance, Russell's publicist, presumably, just decided to jump on that immediately and leak that straight away. And I'm not sure whether Dave Bautista's one came through the right channels. Maybe it did. I know Marissa's did. So yeah, I don't know. Sometimes they can just like blurt it out, or somebody online will just be saying something or whatever. It's exciting. So we'll wait and see. Just keep an eye out for these names, and then we can try and figure out who they're playing.
Yes.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you so much, you two, for being here, and thank you for watching. And we'll see you again soon. So until then, hold fast.
And don't lose your head. Oops.